Ionus, Filnir, Schnobik, and Florn are in Monterre. How they arrived here is curious. They traveled from the Breen to Gadsden to find their old friend Abel and the god Tempest, who helped them finally tune all planes of existence and locate Florn Gershon, the abusive and draining presence on Tempest of Gadsden. Florn had brought the powerful Godstone to Havis Corvair's kingdom, where he dreamed of making a new powerful life as a magical mercenary. The fight that ensued saw dragons ripping apart Nimrod Talkeen, an army of elves rushing the Torchlight Inn, and finally, Ionus got to cast Meteor Swarm. Just kidding. He cast Plane Shift and took the team back to his bedroom in the Cloud Sea. Where do we go from here? It's time for Dungeon Dads.
Heroes rise, heroes fall. I see 'em on the front line, standing tall. They're risking life and limb to answer the call. But what they fighting for? Don't know, don't care. Just along for the ride, but everyone must stand. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna win inside.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. You are listening to Every War Must End on the Dungeon Dads Network, episode 101. It's like the first year of college.
Yeah.
All over again. I don't even think they number classes that way anymore.
Dungeon Dads, the new class.
The new class.
Monterre
Colon,
101.
Origins, back to Monterre. Hashtag, no one talks like they're from Brooklyn anymore.
Colon, Schnobik Rising.
Yeah. As always, I'm DM Tom Blaylock, and I'm joined today by John Watson, going home to Monterre as the wizard Ionus Silhavine. What's up, John?
Man, it's been a long time. Although it hasn't, because I came back with Schnobik one time and had a fight, and then I came back again, I think.
Yeah, you've been here a couple of times.
I'm just in and out of Monterre.
You're really in the Lion's Den, or maybe not the Lion's Den. You're like in unfamiliar turf now. Like this is your place.
Yeah.
Now, and I wanted to make sure it's clear. Like it's not been slept in. Like someone sealed it off. There's spider webs in here, and it's not been used. It hasn't been converted into a gym. You know what I mean? Like it's still
like just
your
nobody
spot.
cares. Nobody cared about it.
It's still your spot. Yeah. Well, someone cared. They cared enough to like seal it off and save it for the return of the king. Maybe.
I suppose that's true.
And Tim Carr playing Filnir Omajira, the creator, perhaps the godling. Filnir Rising. I don't know. What's up, Tim?
What's happening? Yeah, there's a lot of question marks about Filnir.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, and also, who's the god in this realm right now?
Mm-hmm.
Is it Donatus? Is it Groomsh? Like, who are you going to make common cause with, or are you going to try to supplant the god? I mean, I think that's central.
How many episodes
question.
do you want, Tom?
Listen, I think Filnir could almost end this whole thing with a snap of the finger at this point. So, Sam,
Not
I
satisfying.
See,
Not satisfying.
No, of course not.
Listen,
Of course
I can
not.
wait till I'm introduced. That's fine.
Yeah, all right. Sam's giving me a look. Tim, before I go to Sam, is there anything else you want to say?
No.
All right. And finally, Sam Frank playing Schnobik the Bastard. What's up, Sam?
So I'm just saying, I feel like the goalposts keep getting moved, Like it was
Okay.
like, okay, we just got to kill Havis Corvair and then we're done.
Yeah.
Well, okay, we got to kill Havis Corvair and one god, and then we're done. Okay, then we got to kill Havis Corvair and two gods, and then we're really done.
I don't think you have to kill two gods. I think Donatus is not I don't think he is a problem for you. He's definitely not a problem for you.
He's not an interventionist.
He's not an interventionist.
If Filnir resets the world, nobody remembers who Donatus is.
That's right.
You're gonna have to knock
I
him
mean,
out.
he's
You got
certainly
it.
a problem for the Mountain City Mayhem crew.
Yes,
Let's put it
that's
that
true.
way.
That's
Yes.
absolutely true.
But
That
so
is
would
absolutely
resetting the world would be a problem.
Yeah.
Plug for our premium campaign, Mountain City
That would just
Mayhem,
end that campaign.
everyone should subscribe to.
Oh my God. If you got to episode 101, and you haven't jumped on the Patreon train at this point, I'm telling you, some good stuff there. It's
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah,
Good
absolutely.
community.
The craziest part is that the second you subscribe, all of it just shows up.
Yeah, it's like all it's all there. We have a
binge
couple of new Patreon subscribers in there, and it's been really fun watching the various folks who are on there like inaugurate him to the cult. It's been great.
It's not a cult.
Well, and I also, Tom and I were having a brief conversation before we started recording here, because now, again, that we're back in Monterre, he was like, yeah, I don't want to step on any toes. And I was like, well, our rule is always, if you get to it first, you get to it first. Like, the other one just has to roll with whatever the other one sets up. And then I was like, as long as you're not like, oh, my name is Shields, and I have chosen this moment to commit suicide in front of all of you.
We also don't have a perfect picture on the timelines and how they line up here. So that's
It's
still
gonna
foggy.
start.
So
It's gonna start getting clearer, I think. Unfortunately, in this episode, depending on what you do, and I know you're probably gonna let Ionus be a slight lead in this, but I think Schnobik is from here too, so I don't know how this is gonna play out. I can't wait. Let's get started.
can I ask
Okay.
a question that I had this
Yeah.
revelation? It was after we recorded the bonus episode.
Yep.
But it pertains to, so in the bonus episode, for those of you that are not Patreon subscribers, we discuss Schnobik's return to humanity and his appetite, and we were reminded that he was busy eating in Gadsden. Was he the only one eating?
He
in
was
Gadsden?
not. He was
So-
definitely not.
Presumably, if my math is correct, Nimrod is buck ass naked somewhere in Gadsden trying to borrow a loincloth.
I think you're right. I think you're
Because
right.
here's the thing, Nimrod was there for years.
Yeah,
For
right.
years, he for sure was
Oh,
eating.
for sure.
That
ate
is
it.
his
I
realm.
forgot about that part. Yeah,
Mhm.
there's no
Yeah.
brainer that
Yeah,
he's
for
bound.
sure.
He's bound to that realm.
So I mean, and I'll just say that like Sverf Nerblin, is that how you say it, John? Every time you grimace, every time I say the damn word, say it for me.
Sverf Neblin.
Sverf Neblin?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well,
Then why'd you ask me?
yeah, no. Sverf Neblin.
Well, listen, I don't know about all that.
Sverf Neblin. So the deal with the Sverf Neblin is that they have really, they're sort of like chickens in the sense that like their blood just keeps pumping long after like it's probably not, they're probably gone. So that's why you still saw his body there ripped apart by the dragons. He was only mostly dead.
Mostly dead.
Mostly dead.
Damn it.
It's all
To
right.
blame.
Well, I mean, not to go too metaphysical too early in an episode, this is starting to sound more like a bonus. We should really just jump into the plot here. But, we keep thinking of ourselves as traveling to all of these different places, when really we should think of it more as like projecting ourselves to all of these different
That's right.
places.
I think
that
that's
makes more
true.
sense.
I think that's true. And I think that you're projecting, but you dislocate from where you
Yes.
are.
Yeah.
Our body doesn't hang out in the original.
That's right.
plane,
That's right.
But yeah.
But it's not.
But
But
some
all
anchor of our
physical,
essence is there.
Well, but-
yeah.
it's all of our physical belongings, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So like, I think in Discord, I likened it to, for those of you who played EverQuest back in the day, if you died in EverQuest, all your shit was wherever you died.
Yeah.
And you had to go back butt naked and go pick up your stuff if you
Yeah.
wanted it again.
Isn't
Yeah.
that like Dark Souls too?
Yeah.
All the demon stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. So it was one of those things where it was just like, okay, you can't take shortcuts through the big giants.
And everyone who you killed has resurrected mysteriously.
Right.
Oh, that's a good last boss fight. Never mind. I'm not going to say it out loud.
And weirdly, John, your princess is in another castle. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
All right. Now let's get to the
All
matter
right.
at hand.
So I'm assuming you are. You want to pick right up from after you plane shifted into your bedroom, and you said you crashed out on your bed.
Yeah, I crashed out, and a giant dust cloud pops up off my
awful.
bed, and so I'm just like, and so I start casting prestidigitation on everything in the room, and
Awesome.
just cleaning up cobwebs and cleaning off dust. And
Can I ask you, are you trying to be surreptitious while you're here? Like, are you like not giving a shit if you make a bunch of racket?
Well, I was going to say, Schnobik's immediately looking around for where we are and are we in any danger? And I mean, I'm assuming I would recognize this instantly.
You know it instantly. You used to sleep in here with Ionus when you were younger. I mean, this is like,
are there windows that look out?
Yeah, there are. There are big dormer windows that you can open, and but they are
That are closed.
they're closed, and they're currently there's
And becurtained.
becurtained. Yes. So you'd have to like physically, move them around. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you're right to be a little bit concerned about your surroundings.
Well, I say, of course, my brother could take us anywhere in the universe and brought us to his childhood bedroom.
oh, come now, Schnobik. I was looking for a place of safety.
You're going to wake the entire castle.
I was looking for a place of safety. Does anyone even live? Look at this room. No one's even
This
here
will
anymore.
be a place of safety as long as we are quiet. Clearly, no one's been here for years, but if they hear racket coming from here, they will be here instantly.
Yes, and probably with spears in hand.
Well, I understand that. Don't you think it would be wise just to call Erlington here?
Now?
What?
Tell him we're here. We need a couple of days' rest. We need somewhere to rest and relax. I've already talked to him mentally before. I helped him out in the war at Water's End. I figured he'd be amenable and just keep everyone out of here. I can tell him to come alone.
Are we sure?
Schnobik has the most skeptical look on his face that anyone has ever had.
Look.
This is how all the changes happen in the valley, huh? You guys are just making it up as you go along. Is that how it is?
Flown, that's how everything is. Grow up.
Yes, I don't see that your meticulous planning has gotten you any further than we have.
I'm 15. What's your excuse?
If you want to live to see 16, zip it.
He starts to just do prestidigitation, but resoiling things. It's cleaning things up.
Ionus, if you have any spells with verbal components, try to say them in a ghostly voice so that any passers-by will merely think the room haunted.
Listen, Vilnir.
Yes.
Nobody liked that one, huh?
I enjoy ignoring Schnobik.
True.
Vilnir, if you're uncomfortable, perhaps we could get this window open and you can fly us out of here.
Well, I can only take 3 of us.
Yes, you, me, and Schnobik.
And we...
Yeah, I'll be fine. Just leave me here in this castle, who knows where.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you resoiling my room as I'm trying to clean it? You
No,
can
this
fuck
was
off.
already like that.
What do you say? We could fly out of here now, or we could actually have some protection for once and get a few days rest here in this room.
do they not watch the castle walls? We
Who?
would.
The guards?
Sleep.
There are castle guards, are there not?
Get the castle leader here. Talk to him.
We sleep. We rest long enough for you to recover your strength
Yes.
quietly in this room. And then we travel by magic to somewhere more hospitable.
Oh, wait. How long can we stay in our secret rooms?
And leave Flawn where?
Again. I could give a shit about this little boy.
Ionus. Do we have our party line on or no?
No.
No.
Florn is doing he's like pretending to hand crank something next to his left hand, and his middle finger is just coming up at Ionus as he does it.
I have refrained from killing him out of deference to you, but I can say there's no logical reason why we've kept him with us and alive.
Well,
I say this within full hearing of Flourn.
no, you're
He's
right.
nervous. He actually is nervous.
You're right. Schnobik, I think Ionus's plan to actually have someone on the inside know we're here makes more sense than trying to depart and sneaking our way around. After all, we will need help in Monterre. We will not just be able to find our way and get everything we need without some sort of assistance.
I do not understand. What could we need that we cannot find elsewhere? Rest long enough to teleport us again? Let us be done with this place.
That is the problem. If the gods are actually watching this area, as you say, how much rest are we going to get?
They haven't been here in a long time. Look, just look at this floor. Every
Well-
place I walk, I'm leaving a footprint.
Will casting your hut harm you, Ionus?
That's a good question. I can
Hell-
cast it without using
Hell
a spell
yes, it
slot,
will.
but
Nah,
it's
that's
still
a
a
third level
level
spell. Of course.
I'm just saying. I'm like I said, it's not a
Otherwise-
spell slot. It's at a loophole. It's not.
I
a
think
loophole.
you should find out.
Yeah. Well, I know what's going to happen.
Otherwise, we could also find a way to barricade the door quietly, sleep, and then make our presence known. No one will check in here. There's no evidence that anyone has in years.
I have no desire to see or speak to anyone in this city,
Including your father.
Especially.
Well, I am indifferent on the city folk, I guess. But I do not think we should stay here long. I think a rest would be prudent. It has been a hell of a day. I can function if needs be. But don't you need to sleep after tuning the worlds?
I do, but one night of sleep is not going to do it.
How much sleep do you need?
More than one night.
At least 2 nights of sleep.
Well, we could sleep one night here, now, but then we'll need food.
Yes. I could use some food right now.
Oh,
Does anyone have any in their packs or belongings?
Again, this is
Pockets.
something that could be provided to you by the head of the cast.
Satchels.
I have rations. I have 3.
Knapsacks.
I have 3 rations. I don't mind handing them out.
Well, I've got rations.
You say,
myself,
I
but-
have 3 rations in character, and Schnobik grabs one out of your hand,
Yeah.
tears into it like a starving
Filner's
man.
going to hand one to Florin, too.
He's like, he takes it from you.
Okay.
I've not eaten yet, and several days I wasn't sure if I wanted to. If I believed you, what you told me about the planes and eating and all of that, and I also wasn't sure if. And then he starts eating.
And then
This is good.
Schnobik kind of writes up his, oh shit, Nimrod's probably still alive.
What?
Oh, you're right. Snowball. I just knew he was dead. But he
Did
stayed.
anyone gather his belongings? No.
Yeah, he up here probably showed up naked in Gadsden.
He might be on his own there. There were a lot of people.
Well, there are worse places to show up naked.
He survived years there on his own while he was waiting for us. I think he'll be okay.
Well,
And if anything, he now may have Abel on his team.
that's true.
That was Abel that came out, right?
It was Abel's spirit in the statue.
Did he not
Yes.
remember who I was? He was younger too. It was weird.
Flawn, you were causing a great amount of damage in his new realm. And we went to speak to him about it, and he was adamant that we get that stone from you. By any means necessary. You're only alive right now because of me.
You firebolted the back of my head.
Did it kill you?
Well, no.
No, it did not kill you. I could have fireballed you and the entire restaurant you were in, but I didn't. I merely firebolted you in the back of the head and took the stone.
I could stoneball you. Or something.
I'd love to see you try anything right now, Florin.
I'm not doing anything right now. I just want to get out of here. And also this door, and he points, he says, I got Hairbeak on the other side of it, and it's there's a bar across it on that side.
This is
So we're not
outside
going
of the
that
bedroom.
way.
Yeah, it's weird. Why would they put a bar on the outside of it?
That doesn't sound good, gentlemen.
Do you mind if I do this? And he starts to cast something. He says, I'm just going to cast something real fast and just check something out. Do you mind? Please don't
Yes,
fireball
we do
me.
mind. Do not cast anything unless you tell us exactly what you're going to do. Schnobik also draws his sword.
I just want to cast some divination magic here. I just want to see what if there's any wards in this room or not.
What spell specifically?
I don't know what you call it. It's like early. It's like one of the first things you learn how to cast. It's just to see what's around you.
What do you call it, Florin?
I call it find the banana. And
That does sound like a name a 15-year-old would use.
well, the banana is the magic that someone might have cast on you or around you.
Filnir's going to cast Edgar's Detect Thoughts.
Okay.
And just keep his brain open for passersby, or
and
if
it's
there's anything.
super long distance, right? Edgar's Detect Thoughts is like it when you cast it as a 5th level spell, it's like half a mile or something, right?
Wow. It says at 5th level duration's either 9 hours or 1 hour without concentration, and I'd make that decision at the end of the first hour, which is weird.
Yeah.
And the range is 120 feet.
So I think it requires no concentration for the first hour, and then you can continue concentrating on it after that up to 9 hours.
Right.
Okay. All right. So I want to just say, as soon as you cast this thing, so wait, what's the range on it?
120.
120 feet.
120 feet. Okay. So the room is pretty big. You're clearly in a castle that has many big rooms on this floor, but this thing leaches all the way down through the stone between floors, and you are above a sitting room that you hear several people in this room. You can hear their thoughts, all thoughts that are sort of the surface thoughts are most of them are trying to seem like they know what they're talking about. So they're worried that the one of the other people here are going to think they're an idiot. And one of them, sort of the strongest thought that you hear from one of these people is probably underground. They're probably using the tunnels and the sewers to get up and make these strikes on us. And it's a plan. It's a planning meeting, clearly.
Okay.
And that's all the people that you sense within 120 feet.
Okay.
And can you detect the thoughts of animals? Can you detect like?
It says certain creatures.
Is there an intelligence?
Intelligence of it has intelligence of 3 or lower. Doesn't speak any language. I do not.
Okay. All right.
Detect them. So basically, anything with intelligence of 4 or higher.
Okay. All right. The common guard dog does not have an intelligence of 4 or higher.
Okay. But if a guard dog's walking with a guard,
true,
who's not a formidable idiot,
you're not sensing that.
Right.
But you do sense Florn inside of Hairbeak, just outside the door.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. So basically, I'm going to be kind of on the lookout for, patrolling guard
Okay.
presences entering the range, especially if they seem nearby. I don't know how much proximity I can detect.
Yeah.
And then obviously if Florin has any sudden malicious intents.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can sense him through and through. And then Schnobik, you cannot detect Schnobik's thoughts. Is that correct? He's got some kind of protections against that sort of thing? Is
You have
that
a ring of mind shielding, or
That's
you have
mine.
a
I
trait,
have
right?
a. I have thought shield and mental barrier, and I always forget which one's which. Thought shield.
but you have not cast that, correct?
Yeah, I cast it every morning when I wake up. And
Okay.
It lasts for 8 hours.
Okay. So you can't detect him at all.
And probably me either.
Or Ionus. It's like you're by yourself in this room, except
Yeah.
Florin is out in the hall with Hairbeak's thing. All right. So what are you guys going to do? So
Did he cast his find the banana?
Oh, yeah, he can. You said not to, but he will.
I was just
So
asking.
he's going to cast it as a ritual. So it takes him a little bit of time, but he starts walking around, and you realize that he's going to places where you have cast magic like over and over again, and for various things. So like your bedside table has a magic mouth cast on it, and he gets close to it, and he says, what's happening over here, Ionus? It's like weird.
Ionus, I don't understand why you don't just cast this spell yourself. We can't trust anything the boy says anyway.
But I still have no idea what he's casting.
Oh,
I just found the banana, is what I'm saying to you right here.
Is he just detecting magic?
Yes, he's looking at magical effects around the room.
So you got the magic
he's
mouth that
holding
you
up
cast.
sort of a magical black light all over your bedroom.
That's right.
All over your teenage bedroom.
And he gets very, very close to the magic mouth, and it says, "You're not my prince." And Florin's like, "Okay, all right." He keeps moving around, and then one of the walls, he says, "Well, so what's this over here? It looks like a door."
What are you talking about?
Yeah, you've never seen anything. You've never knew about this. And he says, "Yeah, it's right here. Look."
It's like
And
an
he puts
illusion.
he puts his hand against the wall, and it just goes in. And he says, "Yeah, come on. What is this over here?"
Hold. I send Saber in.
Okay. Saber walks in. Are you viewing through his eyes?
I am.
On the other side of it, there is sort of like a little pony wall that's sort of low, about 8 feet high, and then an opening so the wall doesn't go all the way up to the ceiling. And the illusion, it's now clear, is from the top of the 8 feet up, and then where he walked through, and it's like just a little hallway about 8 feet wide that spans the length of the room.
Right. How tall is this room?
It's about 16 feet tall. It's huge. It's
Yeah,
super
like, you're
grand.
like, a little pony wall, like 8 feet tall.
It's a half height. And then once he's inside, you realize that the other side are books. It's a little small walk-in library in here, and a door that leads to Mr. Percy's room.
And I never knew that Mr. Percy could get into my room at any time.
At any time.
Or watch you from behind the illusory wall.
Or just watch me from the wall. Son of a bitch.
Ooh, in your teenage bedroom.
No, that's fucking nasty. All right. I just shake my head and said, "You know what, Florin? It's nothing. while he's doing this, gentlemen, are you sure you don't want me to reach out? Filnir, do you hear? Are we surrounded? What's happening?
No, I think they seem to be having some sort of meeting downstairs. There's some sort of planning going on about some attacks that have come from under the city. Something about sewers and scattered attacks.
Sewers?
Yes, I don't know why.
God.
They don't. Did I pick out any keywords like rats or were-rats or gills?
So if you want to listen closer, someone says, but we have ceded that ground to the were-rats, and they keep to their colonies. It is not them. But why? But why has the great flame wizard gone missing then? Who has taken him?
Now, this is where in a comic book there would be an asterisk. And it'd be like, see Mountain City Mayhem, episode 33.
Yeah.
No, it's somebody's in the sewers. There seems to be an accord with were-rats that live in those sewers. And it is not apparently the rats that are.
It sounds as though
I don't know. These are
jolly old time in Monterre.
Yes. Is this common in Monterre?
Let us-
Sewage problems.
No, I don't know what's happened. No one deals with the were-rats. Now someone's in league with them? And they're
No,
attacking?
Not in league, but more that they've come to a truce. Is there a fire mage?
Oh,
Not.
you mean the Firehawk?
Yes, that sounds right.
What are they saying about him?
He's not there.
Von Krug?
Incineratus?
Von Krug is...
He's gone.
The Blazer Glory himself?
Himself? Schnobik? I was hoping to catch a glimpse of him. He's missing. What on earth?
Whether he's dead or alive matters not. What matters is that our hold on the nobility is slipping. If we cannot even protect the highest of the nobles and their playthings, what right do we have to rule this city? We must find that Firehawk. And another person says, I'm telling you, leave it alone, Master Erlington. Leave it alone.
Lord Erlington is downstairs. Ionus, he's in this meeting.
That is what I'm talking about.
I think
he's right here.
He is worried about control of the city. If the Firehawk can go missing, it seems he is scared that more nobility can also be taken or perhaps swayed to another side.
Egad, what is happening in this town?
Ionus, Filnir. Let me ask a question that I hope would be very basic. What do we hope to accomplish?
By talking to Erlington?
Let's start more broadly.
I hope to accomplish sleep. I can barely
More
walk.
broadly than that. What are our goals as a fighting unit, as one might say?
Well, clearly, we are about to have an attack from Havis Corvair if we don't attack him first.
Yes.
Seeing as how
Yes.
we're walking with this one now.
And it seems as though we might need to kill a god in order to keep this realm from being torn apart. Is that items 1 and 2 on our priority list?
It seems so.
And then how are we aided in either of those goals by talking to Reinhold Erlington?
Again, if we can get some sleep, we are clearly not secure here. That wall is fake. It leads to another room. Anyone can easily walk upon us at any time. If I cast another spell, I may not get to where we need to go. I'm stuck. Could all 4 of us get out of here? We could. I could polymorph into something that could fly. Filnir could fly us out of here.
You probably kill yourself trying to polymorph
I
into
probably
something.
would. So for now, I'd like to sleep soundly somewhere. Schnobik.
Flawn, do you know? Well, I could also send you two.
I can
somewhere,
change
and
myself
then-
into a much larger version of Herbeek, so I could fly out myself if we think it's safe. I'll tell you though, I've taken a couple of arrows in bird form, and I do not like it.
I could also send someone ahead to claim a room, and then if we're able to communicate, I could stay behind, and we could fly there in 2 trips, as it were.
I'm going to look at Ionus. I have a sneaking suspicion that none of these plans will be accepted
By Erlington? By who?
by you. You wish to speak to Reinhold Erlington, and no other course of action will be acceptable to you.
I was amenable to setting up a tiny hut for us to sleep in.
Were you?
I
Were
was
you?
amenable to it.
You were amenable to a tiny hut.
I was amenable to a tiny hut. I was amenable to a tiny hut. The problem is, I feel like we are safer if the head of the castle knows we're here and just doesn't say anything
Yes.
about it and tells the guards to go elsewhere.
Assuming we have his blessing.
If we don't, we fly out.
Tim, give me a perception check.
Okay, let's roll. Straight roll, yes.
Yep.
Okay. 22.
You detect a new presence that has just come into the 120-foot range, and it seems to be getting closer. And the surface thought is, I just got 3 hours left, and then I can go and spend my money.
Sounds like
Payday. Payday.
if I had to guess, there's a guard doing a patrol.
Is it worth killing guards to keep them quiet?
I don't think we should kill him. I think we should avoid detection.
What if we're detected?
Schnobik is going to pull out his mask, put it on, pull his hood up. Go speak to my father then. But I am your bodyguard, Blood Raven. Make no other mention of me.
Fine. No problem. I just feel like this is the safest way. If the head of the house knows we're here, then at least we have a chance.
The guard won't
Yes.
know there's a fake wall.
When you've made your sales stop selling. Let us go. No, call me Dark Shadow.
So, should we go out through Mr. Percy's room?
We're not going
This
out.
door's wide open, guys. This door's wide open.
We're not going out. If you want to hide in the hallway, go right ahead. In fact, that would be the best. Why don't you all of you go hide in the hallway? I will talk to him myself. Erlington, it is Ionus Silhavind. I'm in my room. I want to talk. Bring no one else.
All right, hold up.
Filner's going to cast prestidigitation to cover up our footsteps on the floor,
Okay.
like behind us, so that it looks dusty, but it looks like just Ionis's footsteps are there.
13 necrotic damage. And Erlington responds to you. Dear God, here in the castle. I'll be right there, my boy.
And I'm just going to take my weak body, prestidigitate my bed, and lay in it. And feign
You're going to be in repose when he
feign
comes
a
in?
little more weakness than I actually am.
Okay.
Do you need a heal?
I've got 31 hit points left.
Okay.
So you hear Erlington say, that's all for now. We'll reconvene in 2 hours right after supper. Shills, you return to my quarters. You, Donovan, take the lady of white with you. Yes. And continue making your plans. We must figure out what's happening in Gatetown.
I'm quietly relaying this information, so I don't have to keep
Yeah, of course.
reciting it for the listeners.
And so then you hear Erlington say, his surface thoughts are, "Goddamn guard, he should not even be up here." And you hear the guard's thought. He's like, "Oh shit, that's the general. Oh fuck." and then you hear him like, "Oh, that was kind of nice. That is easy." And Erlington knocks on the door and he says, "My boy, how did you get in there? It's sealed up tight on this side. I mean, I'm strong. I can remove the bar."
Don't worry
Certainly
about that.
You could not.
Just enter.
I have to remove the bar to open the door to enter. 1 second. So you hear this giant piece of wood being picked up and removed, and he walks in, and he looks so much older than the last time you saw him. You already thought of him as an older man. He spent most of his life out in the sun, campaigning, training people, guarding your mother and your father. He doesn't look like a noble, but his clothes look like a noble's now. Like, he looks the part, but he looks so much older. And he comes in and he says, "Oh, Ionus, my goodness, I was so happy when you contacted me. I've told no one, as you expressly told me. But my boy, what are you doing here? It is not safe for you."
All right. I know you're excited. A little quieter, please.
Of course. Let me close this door. I will tell you, I never quite understood how your mother and father was so leery of everything, but now I feel as though the walls have eyes, and even people that are close to me seem to be working against me. It is the worst feeling.
Well, now you understand.
Yes, of course, I always understood, but now it is different. I feel it. I feel it in a way that I did not feel it. Your poor father. I don't know how he survived as long as he did.
Tell me what's happening.
It would take too long. I'm barely holding onto the city. It's fraying apart at the seams. None of the old guilds are falling into tow. The nobles are ripping apart this city, and there are new upstarts and upcomers. And all I can do is hope that winning this war against Hark is going to is going to solidify the power of the Cloud Sea and to once again quash these upstarts. I'm afraid it seems as though we are winning on the outside, but in my heart of hearts, I feel as though I am losing this throne for you.
Where are we with Hawk?
Well, all of your exploits are being sung in the Cloud Sea, and everyone claims that you are on their side. But even though we are winning the battles, we seem to be losing the war. They have an almost unlimited number of soldiers, it seems. And they lay their lives down in ways that the Monteran soldiers and the Adaran soldiers never would.
I see. Know this. I am returning. I am working my fingers to the bone to finish this and get Monter back on top.
Boy, it is not necessary to be on top in this godforsaken land. It is only important to survive.
Then pull your troops.
We have. All we do is patrol the ways in. Monteran soldiers are not meant for campaigning. I always said this, and your father's folly down in the Breen Valley nearly lost us our entire forward deployment. Morale could not be lower in the professional soldier ranks. Could not be lower.
Well, I will hope to change this. I had hoped that bringing back the Dame Silhavind would boost morale at Water's End. But I will continue to redouble my efforts to end all of this. Listen, I need rest.
It is yours.
I need it for a couple of days. And I need you to keep everyone off this floor.
I would ask that you do something for me. You do not owe me anything, obviously. Your mother is not well. I know that she is the viper behind much of what has ailed this city, her and hers. But I would just ask that you should not be the one to do it, but you should arrange for someone to break her out.
I'm
to
sorry.
take her down to the Breen Valley and take her away from this city. Every day that people think that she is here it is a day that gives hope to the usurpers. And I cannot bring it to myself to kill her.
Who put her there?
I did, for her safety.
Take her out.
She began to spread the word that she had killed your father and began to overthrow this kingdom.
How easily can you take her out?
I could execute her
No.
in a heartbeat.
No. How easily can you bring her out of her prison?
Not easily.
Why not?
If I call for her, if I call for my lover, who was the one who orchestrated this rebellion, I will lose what few men I have who are diehard supporters of the whites.
So it's, who is your number one challenger?
It is hard to tell. Every noble house is straddling the fence.
But within...
But I would say the Demerodes, your kin, are perhaps the ones who are most poised to rip the whole thing down.
What about within your men? In the whites?
It is hard to know. I think I have at least one spy. The ones that stand up to me keep me honest. I respect that. It's the ones that agree with me, and there's plenty of them. You know Monterans. They're always
Indeed.
looking out to rise up. Robert Guilfoy, he's one. I could do without him in my midst.
Is that a name I recognize, or is it just saying names?
I mean, he was like a nothing noble soldier when your dad was in power. Like it's not even worth going deep into the politics of this place now.
Mhm,
like it's so different from when you were there. The big players have either been arrested or murdered.
Yeah. I will naturally do what I can for my mother. I need you
Very
to take
good.
care.
I just would ask that.
I need you
if
to
it's
take care,
possible.
watch your back, and know that there are more words that we're going to have when I return.
I look forward to it. I will tell you this. If we can win this city back, I would happily hand it over to you. That said, you and I would need to discuss what that would look like. Because if it would send this city into yet another revolution, I would ask you not to return. And I don't say that so that I could preserve power for myself. I say that only because I don't think this city can survive another one of these.
Your suggestions have been heard. Please allow me rest.
Very well. Stay away from the basement areas, anywhere there's open sewage or tunnels to the underground. We do not know what's happening, but the
Can you not
insurrectionists
keep the
seem to be
were-rats under
using.
control?
It is not the were-rats. I feel certain of it. There's something deeper and more sinister going on here. Your father always said there were more tunnels and more highways underground than there were above ground, and I tend to believe it now.
A lot more to think about then. Where can we get some food?
I can send someone up.
Or you could bring us some.
And he kind of bristles at this. He's, I am general and caretaker of this city, my
Exactly.
boy.
And so you are coming with some food to check out this floor and make sure there's nothing going on. Bringing a snack for yourself, yes?
Absolutely not.
I trust no one else but you.
No one will believe me as a greengrocer. I will send
Michael Collins.
I will send someone trusted. I will send
Rob
someone
Roy
trusted.
McGregor. Zeus, for God's sake.
I will send someone trusted.
If you did not send anyone, where could we go?
I could bring you novitiate outfits. There are many young clerics here in town now. You could disguise yourself that way and break bread in the temple. But I would not suggest leaving this room if you could avoid it. If you are recognized, someone will make an attempt on your life. I can guarantee it.
That I understand. That is why we are talking. I just want to make sure I know all options. The novitiate robes would be much appreciated. I do understand your position.
I will send...
No.
I will send the
No.
idiot.
No.
You remember him.
The idiot?
The idiot. Your father's favorite jester. I will send him up.
For what? What could you possibly
With
tell
your
him?
food and with your robes.
What could you
I
possibly
will
tell
not
him?
carry food for you. I apologize.
I
It's a
told you
road
just to
too
send the
far.
robes. Just send the robes. Just drop them off. It is no big
Very
deal.
well. Very well.
I am going to roll a stealth check.
Okay.
It's not a great one for Schnobik.
Okay.
It's a 15.
I
It's
am
pretty
going to
good.
roll. I'm going to roll an. I mean, really. That beats his passive perception. I think that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. Yeah.
So I'm just, while he's talking to Ionus on the bed, I'm just going to sneak out of the bookshelf and put myself between Erlington and the door.
Okay. All right.
And I mean,
Yeah,
here's
right
the
now
thing.
he only thinks there's one person.
Yeah.
No,
to
he
feed.
doesn't. Because John has said we and us multiple
Yep.
times.
Multiple
and
times.
And now they're talking about bringing multiple acolyte robes up to the
Yes,
room
that's true.
for some
I caught
reason.
that. I thought
Yeah.
that was Tom misspeaking, not. But I did
Yeah,
catch
yeah,
John saying
yeah.
we and us. Yeah.
Well,
And,
so
and a couple of times he could have just been sort of the royal we, referring to him and Erlington, but now it's enough times.
Right.
and Filner, you have
So-
heard Erlington say in his mind, "I wonder if my son is here."
So Schnobik puts on an exaggerated Gate Town accent and says, "They call me Bergen the Black Blade."
All right, here. You know what? You're gonna also do a
Mhm.
performance check,
Oh yeah, okay.
and you're gonna need to beat his.
He's not great at this.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. I get a +3 on this. Oh, okay.
Schnobik rolls a natural 1,
and
which with
Erlington
his
rolled a-
minus with his -1 charisma modifier makes it a 0.
and Erlington rolled a 2, and he has a +3 to this, so he had a 5.
Wait a second, wait a
versus
second, wait a
0.
second, wait a second. I can use a luck point. I'm gonna use a luck
wow.
point.
I hope you roll another 1, you son of a bitch. You dirty, dirty player. Give me a luck point. Do it.
8. He got an 8 for his performance.
All right. And Filner, you sort of hear Erlington's thoughts, and he says, "If this motherfucker's from Gate Town, I'm a Hark soldier myself. Yes, Bergen. Are you my liege's protection?"
That and more. You seem to be misunderstanding the situation here. This is an earth-shaking wizard with the rightful claim to the throne and the deadliest blade ever to walk the breen.
Oh my
And
goodness.
you are in a room alone with us.
Oh my goodness. Is Filnir Omajira here as well? The blade heard round the world? Filnir? Filnir, are you here?
Silence.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Enough of your jesting and joking.
I
Tell me why I shouldn't ram this blade through your heart right now.
Well, I think I'd probably be better off if you did, to be perfectly frank with you. It's a very difficult job that I am doing here. And
Wah. Bring us some food, bring us some robes, and quit your belly aching.
Very well, I will. And Filnir, you hear his thoughts. I absolutely will not. I will be sending the idiot up. He turns around. He says, would you like your food and your robes now? I will go get them for you.
He lies.
Who goes there?
Erlington.
Ionus, you asked me to come here on my own, and you seem to have me at a little disadvantage.
Of course I have you at a disadvantage. I've always had you at a disadvantage, General. I'm trying to be nice to you, and you make it difficult every single fucking time I talk to you. Get me my food, get me some clothes, or you will be sorry.
As you wish, my lord. And his thoughts are, little fucker is still exactly the same as he's always been. And Bergen, if you would, please step aside.
I'll look at Ionus first.
Ionus just nods.
Bergen sheaths his sword and takes one slight step to the side.
I'll be back momentarily, my lord. And as he's going out, you hear him. He's just like, all the stories were not true. He has grown not an ounce. He's still a lordling, not ready for the big show of the kingdom.
How did that go, Ionus? Did you enjoy that?
God
Are you
damn
glad
it.
we spoke with him?
It was going fine until you... Fuck it. He couldn't
Filner
understand
steps out
that
of-
we can't have anyone come here and know that we're here. Why doesn't he understand that?
Ionus, why don't you think it would raise more eyeballs if he's carrying a lot of food for multiple people and robes up to a floor that is otherwise deserted and dusty?
Who cares if it raises eyebrows? Eyebrows about what? Are they going to come out here and investigate? For what?
If I was a spy in his army, I might.
If this is my suggestion, should he actually do this, I put us in the hut. We sleep. We set a guard, a watch, a lookout. If someone comes, they will be sorry.
I think the hut is a good idea if you can handle it.
I can. I will pass out after I cast it.
Do you want... Why don't I just heal you first? Yeah, Filner will cast a level 3.
I can do it. I will abandon consciousness subsequently.
Filner's going to cast a level 3 healing word on you.
Okay.
That's so cool that you have healing word. It's
That's
so
awesome.
cool.
Awesome.
Ugh.
So you get 12 HP back.
Nice. It's better
Ready
than what
to
I
lose
lost.
it all again?
sorry,
No,
sorry, I
even
miscounted. It's
9.
9. Yeah, it's
9.
I had the wrong modifier ticked on roll 20.
Still all right. It's fine.
So,
Thank you.
So some time goes by. You hear Erlington approaching, and he walks past the door, and he goes into Mr. Percy's room, and he sits there quietly waiting, and then you hear two other people approaching, and
I'm relaying this as you're telling him that
How much
he's over there.
time has passed?
about 15-20 minutes.
Because I've cast the tiny hut,
Great. So the hut is up.
but you got to roll the
And-
damage.
You can roll
And,
your damage.
oh yeah, this is so fun. I love it. Do you like this? Are you enjoying this? Because it's really cool. I love.
I'm
dice.
enjoying it at the
love
moment. Once
rolling
I get
dice.
below 20, I will not
Oop,
be
that's
enjoying
20.
it.
That's D20. Sorry, that was
Why
a
are
D20.
you? Why would you do that to me?
That was an accident. But
That's
you should
not
see,
cool.
That was a lot. That was a 47
Snip.
damage.
Snip.
3d20. I mean, 15, not bad. Okay, all right. That's the average.
Yeah.
So you hear the thoughts of a woman and someone else, and the woman is her thought is, I wonder why he's having me up here this time. This is different. This is spicy. And then the other person is their thoughts are just bananas and bonkers. It's like where will I find a pile of leaves? Not here. Not here. Oh, very heavy. Very heavy. And you hear them walk right past your door, and then you can hear the conversation through the illusory wall and through the door of Mr. Percy. And you hear Erlington say, "Oh, yes, yes, my dear. That's right. Come here. Oh, yes, Brian, you can leave the food and the trinkets and doodads over there. Discretion is the better part of an idiot's job, my boy. That's right, yes. We won't be doing anything weird with those acolyte robes. Just tell no one. That's right. Yes, yes." And then you hear like the woman come in, and she says, "This is very odd. Are we doing this here?" "Oh no, God no! Just stay here, Vera. I'll be right back, and then we will do that then. Yes." And then there's a knock at the door. "My boy, are you there?"
A minor illusion. Yes, beside him.
"All right.
Whisper.
I do not want to leave these things out in the hallway. May I enter?"
I heard you in the other room.
"Okay, I had to do that. The only way that they think that I would come to this area would be to defile your room by making sex with a prostitute, which is what I won't be doing that. She's a very nice lady. She's a former noble, and it's not your purview what I am doing next door. Just take the food and the acolyte robes -1.
My suggestion is to leave all of that in Percy's room. We can get it.
Well, I'll be getting it. What are you saying? What are you saying?
Is the food in Percy's room now?
No, it's in my hands now. It's heavy.
Just leave it in Percy's room.
Well, I'll be in there for the next 25 to 35 minutes.
Good. And then we'll come after.
Fine. That's fine. And what follows is very Chester milquetoast. He clearly puts the acolyte robe on, and she pretends to be a mistress.
Filnir, you can stop relaying everything to us now.
Sorry.
No, that's more than enough.
Well, I'm sure we can hear everything.
No, well, I mean, it's like all like the spiciest thing you hear after that is, "Oh, that's the good stuff. That's the good stuff. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff."
So yes, we sit in our room. We wait till it's finished.
I have a hard time believing this was the best resolution.
Yeah, but it seems like it's a pretty happy ending. And by the way, Florin was next to the door watching the whole time. By the by. He says, you think if you're the general, you'd get someone, I don't know, like younger. She was old though, like real old.
Florin, you're 15.
Yeah. I mean,
I imagine I look old to you.
She's at least 2 times my age.
Travesty, I'm sure.
I mean, it's fine.
Hey, Florin.
I'm not going to yuck his yum.
Florin, you saw everything in there. Can you get us our food, please?
Oh, yeah, sure. She's still in there. Should I wait until she leaves?
Yes, please. But when she leaves.
All right. So he goes in there, he gets the food, brings it out to you, and in the basket of food, It's delicious. It's like your favorite food, by the way.
That was very nice of him.
Yeah,
Do we have any spells that can detect poison or
I don't think we do.
foreign influences?
Just find the banana.
Just find the banana.
I mean, we could have
Florin, can you find the banana on this before we eat all of it?
we can get
sure,
our familiars
sure.
to sample it.
I mean, she found
that's
the banana
true.
in the other room, didn't she? Seaphone. That's a weird name for a spell.
That's a good one. So Florin does that. He doesn't detect any magic in here. There's an envelope with a note in it, and it has a map of the dungeon where Chandelier is staying. And is that her name, Chandelier?
Yes, that's her name. Yes.
Yeah,
Very good.
I was chuckling at the where she's staying.
Yeah, that's right. In the
dungeon
in the
where
prison.
she's
being
staying,
put up. Yeah.
where she's being put up,
and
where she currently resides.
and it just says that there will be a cleaning crew that will come to Percy's bedroom afterwards and stay out of there and stay out of sight. And then the last thing is there's a second envelope, and in it there is a small hand-drawn map and an X over Robert's gift. And he says, the note just says, "In a fortnight, we will be marching our troops here. We have reason to believe the Robert Hawk is dead, and they will be doing their King's Moot here on this plateau. This is where we plan to end this war. I love you, my boy. And please tell Bergen I love him as well."
Schnobik, I feel like we have to help.
Whom do we have to help?
My question exactly.
Monterre. If this is a king's moot, we could stop everything.
So after we kill the bloodthirsty elf general and the bloodthirsty war god, we lead the troops against the bloodthirsty army.
But who is the new king?
We don't know. We need to find that out. We have caused this.
Have we?
Is
We did not kill the
Cutchin
king.
Sweet Lion still in the demiplane?
I believe we left him in Lakenheath.
Yes, we did. He's being fed and taken care of.
It's likely that word of Cutchin's disappearance and the stealing of the Robert Hark mace has not reached Earlington. I mean, this rings of the events that were going to happen before you intervened.
Okay.
Now, correct
I
me
will
if
also mention, that listeners of Mountain City Mayhem will know much more about Chandelin's current position and lodgings.
Although Ionus did speak to her through the sending spell a few times
Mhm.
as
I
well.
spoke to her, but in my brain, she's in something other than what she's in.
Yeah,
she was just in her bedroom
Yeah.
in the castle.
Yeah.
Did the Robert Hark come out of the doorway that we went to, or is it?
I think it's still there.
Yes. It. You didn't go back there. You
We didn't
haven't
go-
been
we didn't
back
go
there.
back. We didn't
No.
go back.
No,
You
it's still
left
there.
and we're back. It is still there. Yes.
Okay.
It's still there.
No, right. I was like, it's not on my inventory, and I'm pretty sure we didn't actually take it out. But I just wanted to clarify.
You're correct. You're correct.
Ionis is worried that some fanatic has taken over Hark, and who knows what's going to happen when Monterre gets there. But maybe Hark isn't even
Yeah.
going because they're all fucked up.
And that's also where everything, the flood from the Robert Hark comes, is through that on that plateau.
Right, but
That's
they said
it.
it was a king's moot, which I was thinking was a number of different kings, but maybe not.
No, it's not like the Game of Thrones King's Moot where they all pick the new king,
Yeah.
right? It's where they destroy everybody and pillage all the villages and kill everybody on the plateau.
Oh, I know
Yeah,
that
and-
part. I just, like I said, I thought Earlington. I thought more information had gotten to Earlington, and there was
It's like
some kind of
a
meeting.
coronation of blood.
Yes.
Is the person who arrives there to become king has already been chosen. That's all already ready to go. I mean, and you know this from your travels and the stories. Erlington probably doesn't know the extent of it, how long it goes, and he certainly doesn't know that there is no one Robert Hark. That he knows it's a title, but I'm positive he doesn't think that the mace is the king.
Right.
Right.
Well, I can solve all this with one letter.
F.
T.
Now, I'll just write him after reading that. I'll write him a letter saying that.
Okay.
So I'll write him a letter saying to pull all Monteran troops back home, and that nothing is going to happen on that plateau. and
Your
that,
intervention is moot.
there's no need. And then I'm also going to hopefully he does this by himself, but I'm going to go into my room. I'm going to also apologize in the letter for how I had to speak to him, but I could not have anyone but him know that I was there. And then I'm going to leave behind 1,000 gold.
Okay. Because he needs gold more than anything else.
Why are
Here's
you
a
leaving
tip.
behind?
Here's
1,000?
a tip.
We're gonna need that to get out of Montana.
My friend, I have 100,000 gold in my secret
I
chamber.
love it.
It's
Oh,
fine.
I love
right.
it.
We're not
Don't
poor.
stop it from leaving
No.
a small tip for the general.
I'm going to leave a
of
small tip for the
Montana
general
Army.
after I apologize for
I was just thinking about can you imagine like writing a note to your stepdad and be like, sorry I had to speak to you that way. Here's a 20 for your trouble. There, now I'm sure he
It's
thinks
all
I'm
better.
a good boy.
It's all better now. It's all good. Solved. Got that off my conscience.
Wow.
Man.
I'm sorry you made me do that to you.
Even better, you ought to put it back in the food basket. Yeah, all 1,000 gold in the food basket.
In the food basket. Because I have to make sure it's hidden so that nobody else finds it but
Well,
him.
Brian's going to have to carry that shit, and it's going to be so much heavier than the bread and the plums.
See, he's
and
supposed
the
to get
olives.
it himself, though, because I told him to.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm sure he will follow those instructions to the T. T is the letter that will solve all this.
Tell me you are not seriously considering breaking our mother out of prison.
I mean, of course I am. She's our mother.
Now, I heard the general say you shouldn't do it yourselves.
Why shouldn't we do it ourselves?
Perhaps the threat of death, not that it has stopped us before.
A couple of days' sleep, and I teleport us all out of there. Back to Lake.
Make it so.
It's very simple.
So now just comes the easy part. We relax and sleep.
Yes,
And,
I feel so much safer now than I did when no one knew we were here.
At least you have food, dear brother. Maybe something to wrap yourself in if you get a little restless.
Food.
Wait, are you still hungry, Schnobik?
Always.
And Schnobik,
Fucking-
in the
fucking
bottom of the
curse.
basket, there is a porgus sausage in there, which is it's in pork casing, and it is a mixture of deer, boar, and pheasant. And through the center is a dark blue cheese. This porgus sausage was your favorite as a child, and it is wrapped up with an S on it.
I'm eating it. I'm like, what a
Yeah.
fucking dick.
I'm letting Saber. I'm peeling off.
Man.
I'm peeling off bits of mine and feeding it to Saber.
You think being undead is a curse? This is a curse.
Anything happening to Saber?
No, everything is. I mean, Saber loves it,
Right.
and he's not bamfing away from eating it.
From death?
from death. Death is not a part of this sausage.
I eat it happily.
True sausage.
It's the true sausage.
It's the true sausage.
I don't know,
That's what old Erlington was giving Vera.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really did. He really did. That
Gave
was
her
the good
true-
stuff.
Gave her the true sausage.
So you can get your rest. I'll let you for some downtime. And you got 2 days here. Let me know what you actually want to be doing, and I will adjudicate it with an amount of risk of being found out that you're in the city. So in other words, if you wanted to go and, I don't know, visit your mom, stake out the joint, look around Monterre, whatever those things are, let me know, and we'll handle it like downtime.
Are we assuming we can get in and out of the castle reasonably safely?
I mean, I think the acolyte robes will give you some level of once you get off this floor and get past guards, and and Filnir with his detect thoughts up, there are now no guards guarding this area, and so you definitely have a little bit of cover. Everyone will be required to give me a stealth, deception, or performance to get out. So like if you're going to have a day of activities out of the thing, it's going to be like part of it is going to be getting in and getting out of the bedroom, depending on how you want to do it. So like if you wanted to fly out the window, that would be some other role than just walking out the front door and going out into the courtyard.
Right.
But I will say, for there to be this number of acolytes in the inner sanctum of the Cloud Sea is odd to you, Schnobik and Ionus. Like, religion was never a large part of your parents' reign. They would have never had young novitiates in the castle.
Schnobik is profoundly uncurious about anything going on in Monterre.
Yeah, and Ionus won't know anything. He's sleeping for 2 straight days.
Great. Okay. So you're going to sleep and eat.
And my plan was just to heckle whatever Ionus does. But if he's just sleeping.
Yeah.
He just ruined his plans.
Yeah.
And maybe that probably made Ionus's day.
Look at him sleeping over there. Like a big fucking sleeping guy.
So I do have to ask. I'm sleeping in the hut. I get my hit points back. I get my spells back. I still take the damage if I cast the hut again.
2 days, right? Did we do the 2d4?
I rolled 3 days.
3 days.
Yeah,
okay.
but it's less a day for every day that all you do is sit around and do fuck all.
It goes
right.
down.
So on your second day, it will be, but you'll have to roll it one more time. But you're not going to be, if you're not going out and about, if you're not doing anything out in the world, you will not need to roll damage on that again.
Okay.
So if you're doing 2 straight days of...
Okay, but Wish, so you only take the damage on the first day until you get a long rest. Your strength doesn't come back until the end of 3 days.
I got it. Okay.
That's the way that works.
All right.
So you're
Thanks,
just...
Tim.
I thought that was wrong. I was like, 3 days doesn't seem right. They're like, here, let's give you more utilities to just destroy yourself.
Right. Yeah. So after the second day, you'll be totally right as rain.
Okay.
Tim, how about you? What do you want to do during this time?
That is a very good question. I think Filnir's slightly concerned about what we're going to do with Florn. Because he's here and he's also resting.
He's resting, although I will have him roll something here in a minute. I'm wondering how closely you're going to watch Florn while you're here. Is he your prisoner or is he just here with you?
I mean, I imagine he's a bit of our prisoner because, we brought him here. Ionus kept him alive.
I know what I'm going to do with my downtime.
Yeah, why don't you
want to go first?
Take Schnobix then.
I'm going to interrogate / debrief Florn about everything he knows about Havis Corvair's army.
Okay, that's great.
Nice.
layout of the castle,
Yeah.
where the different units are stationed, ways in and out,
Yeah, that's good.
commanding officers, anything he can tell us.
So if you, I will give you advantage on these rolls if Filnir is doing detect thoughts while you're.
That's fine.
So okay, so this will be 1 day of downtime here.
Yeah. We'll work it in tandem. We can do good cop,
and-
bad cop.
And this is how we'll handle this.
I mean, in all reality, Filnir should do this interrogation.
Well, I mean, that's probably true. That's probably true across the board.
Yeah.
Um,
Schnobik, not exactly the most compelling figure when it comes to getting people to talk.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, we could do it where you're asking the questions and then Filnir's like,
Yeah.
massaging the answers out, being the persuasive one for sure.
And when he said, just tell us the fucking thing, what he meant was,
Yeah. Right. So we'll have a couple of rolls on this one.
okay.
So first, give me for both of you investigation check, and I'll tell you on this one. On the investigation check, I'm going to do an average of your 2 rolls.
Okay.
11 for Schnobik.
And 17.
Sorry, you have
All right.
advantage if you're using your detect thoughts on this too.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah, okay.
So you both
That's-
have.
Oh, okay.
Wait, we both have advantage?
Yeah. Yeah.
Still 17.
Okay.
I was not going to beat that. I have no bonus, so
9.
Okay. So the same,
advantage is
same,
17 and 11. Yeah.
Same result. So
14.
14.
Average.
All right. So that's
Not bad for 2 dummies like us.
That's not bad. It's 14. Okay. And then we're gonna do an Arcana check for both of you.
All these
Same
int
same
rolls.
rules, averages,
Natural 1. That's
Oh,
but
wait,
you have
advantage.
advantage. You both have advantage here.
15 with advantage. Thank goodness.
21.
Awesome. All right.
So
So
that's
that's
18.
what is that? 26.
18.
18. Yeah. Okay. So that's good. And then the last check is going to be your best of perception or insight.
Well, that's going to be perception for me.
for sure. Same here.
Okay.
14. Are we getting these with advantage?
Yeah.
27, which is a perfect 20 on the die.
Nice.
26, which is
Okay.
an 18 on the die.
Okay. So,
So we averaged 27 on that one.
okay. So Florin relays to you a it matches what you saw from the outside and from your experiences on the inside. 2 powerful arcane towers. Defenses include an almost innumerable number of dragons, all green dragons that Florin just can't, I mean, he wasn't there very long. The inner sanctum of Havis Corvair's castle and the leadership, they're decimated. So he doesn't have any of his lieutenants alive. There's none. It's like medium footies and archers who are elves from the Gilbrain Wilds. And then he's got also a small army of zombies and skeletons that are locked away in the basement of the arcane tower. And Florin seems to think there's going to be like the way that they were going to teleport out would be every soul in the 2 towers would be summoned all at once. And he didn't get deep, but he knows that the towers go down as well. And that there are, I mean, maybe thousands of monsters, zombies, spirits that are below grade, and then an army of the living elves that are above grade. And then the dragons which roost on and near the arcane towers. He did not get the sense that this was a fully fleshed out plane of existence, and that he believes that there is an edge to this world where Havis Corvair is. That's the sort of arcana part of it. And your
so
perception.
Havis Corvair styles himself some sort of edgelord.
And your perception is what gave you the details of how they would teleport out and the number of the number of troops. I mean, he's looking at 4,000 or 5,000, including the spirits and zombies and skeletons below grade.
Flawn, do you know where the dragons came from?
Well, that's the weird thing.
Oh, that's the weird thing.
Well, Schnobik, the thing is that these dragons are young but big. Havis was saying he built them, and I don't really know what that means. I got close to one, and it had skin like anything else. Now he's also got these giant weird machine lion tiger things that are just absolutely gruesome, and they seem to be connected to his brain. It's like he thinks it and they go do it.
Has he described the grounds well enough that we could teleport to the inner sanctum? Assuming there were
I think so, yes.
no magics preventing it.
I mean, I think that the way the teleport spell works, I mean, plane shift is more of a blunt instrument.
Mm-hmm.
But once you were on that plane, I think you could teleport directly in with a roll. You know, like I think you always have a roll there. You don't have an item from the inner sanctum. You don't have any of that stuff. I don't believe. So there's still going to be a roll.
Do we have something that belongs to Havis? Couldn't we just teleport to Havis?
Yes.
Pride. Do we have anything that belongs to him?
I'm trying to think if we got anything off of.
Flawn, did Havis gift you anything upon your arrival?
No, he treated me like a welcome guest, but he was not. I think he's defeated. I think he feels like he's defeated, and almost like a cornered animal that's dying. He's going to be dangerous if you do attack him, but I think he expects it, and I think he expects to do battle there in his castle, especially after you just did that mission in there to get the Godstone.
So just interestingly, the categories for teleport are a false destination is obviously the worst, but there's just a description of the destination, which this would seem to fit. And then there is a destination you have viewed once, which it's actually the same table for both of those.
I see.
And then it goes seen casually, very familiar, and then associated object or permanent circle, which are automatic.
Yeah.
So okay. So we now have enough of a description of this that we could at least teleport to it.
I don't think you'd be far off, even if you. Well, I mean, if you roll whatever that super low number
mishap.
is, the mishap maybe, but like, even if you're off, you're not going to be 500 miles away. Like on that table is like it's you might go to the wrong tower.
Right.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah, that would.
Oh
suck.
no, the zombie tower. Yeah. It's not like one of them is the cake tower and one's the pie tower.
No, that's right. That's right. Always better toasted. So that's a day of downtime for Filnir and Schnobik. Anything else you want to do? Nope.
No, nothing comes to mind.
All right, then I will give you
I
advantage.
mean, not with all these guys standing around.
So I will give you both advantage on perception checks.
Okay. Perception, you say?
25.
Oof.
13.
So you both.
Did you just roll a natural 20 for that kid?
I sure did.
God.
26. So over the course of the 2 days, you've been interrogating Florin. He keeps going back in that hallway that's like between the two rooms, and one of you ends up going in there and watching over him. And against all good sense, like over the course of the last day, it's no one's fault. Look, it's no one's fault. You were both looking out for it. You notice that one of the novitiate robes is missing, and when you realize that, you realize you haven't seen Florin in like an hour, and you thought he was sleeping, and there's just like a bunch of shit like tucked under his bedroll that he was sleeping on the floor, by the books in Mr. Percy's peeping Tom room.
Damn it, he got us with the old blanket full of books trick.
Well, we should hold on to one. We can find him easily enough. If they're his.
A blanket or a book?
Whatever is his.
I don't believe that, define his. I say good riddance.
So I'm keen to say the same thing, in fact.
Let the boy pursue what mischief he may in the city of Monterre, and if it doesn't swallow him whole, more power to him.
So, Ionus, as the second day comes to an end, you feel yourself fully recharged. Your mind full of dreams of Monterre. You have big decisions to make about your mom, about Reinhold Erlington, and Ionus, and Schnobik and Filnir fill you in on the fact that your little charge is gone. And that is where we're going to end episode 101 of Everyone Must End, Dungeon Dads podcast. Big decisions on what comes next.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Damn.
There's Anne Frank in it in Monterre.
Just Anne Frank in it. Sam, too soon. No.
Too soon.
I mean, that was fun having a little danger, a little
downtime.
intrigue in Monterre.
Yeah.
Not knowing what's going to happen. Talking to
And
Arlington for an extended amount of time.
And honest to God, those roles in the interrogation were so good that I think you have a real advantage now when you decide to go and burn down 2 arcane towers. Or
just
whatever
exactly
it is you decide
how
to do.
hot a fire do we need?
I'll tell you,
Now,
one of those.
is that a literal mechanical advantage?
It's a literal mechanical advantage in that you know what is in each of these towers, and while they're more than 100 feet, more than 160 feet apart, they're a quarter mile apart. It's not like they're like right next to each other. One single meteor storm will probably bring down one of those towers and all that's in it. So, I mean, look,
God, if only we knew someone who could cast that.
I know.
I mean, are you
Yeah,
thinking
how do
like
we
I'm thinking? Go after the
How do we
Blazer
get the
Glory?
dragons to be on the bottom floor so you can cast to the bottom floor and just let the top topple down?
Yeah. Although the dragons are up top.
Wait, how tall are the towers?
10 stories.
Okay.
up.
So
I mean,
120-ish
Yeah.
feet.
But I can hit one of the towers at the top.
and
Yeah.
bring that shit
And
down
just bring it
and
down.
kill the dragons that are up there.
Yeah.
And yeah,
And just
For
have
sure.
it. Just be done with it.
for sure.
Arr, can't wait.
Whew.
And then we disappear. And then we go back
Then we
and do
go
it again.
back. We just keep
Oh my gosh.
whittling him down.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. In and out. Destruction.
Plane
Wow.
shift, destroy it, get ourselves killed, wake up in Montana.
We just have to not bring any stuff that we care about. Or we use the 100,000 gold that Ionus has and just have like extra sets of armor and maybe better armor just waiting for
Just
when we
waiting
come back.
for us. It's
We
all
show
good.
up in the Hark naked, raining fire down upon them.
That's
Oh,
what we
even
need to do.
better. You go and you eat a meal in Havis's tower, and then you can wreak.
That's what I was going to say.
You know-
That's what we need to do. Actually, I wasn't going to say Havis's. I was going to say we go back to the Godstone, hang out with Abel, eat some food, go to Hark, burn it down.
It
Ourselves
took
in
a
it.
lot. It took a lot out of Tempest to get you back here.
Yeah,
So
but I
don't
can do it
forget-
now.
I don't know. Godstone is pretty different.
Why in the
Yeah,
heck
but
is
he
it
doesn't-
different?
But
What-
he's not exhausted. Also, I just realized I made a huge mistake on those saves. Well, I missed an opportunity. It may not have changed it, but I forgot to use my Favored by the Gods ability when I failed those ice water saves.
Oh, it's too bad.
I liked
It's
it in the
too
moment.
many
I mean, it was
abilities.
like, but plus 2d4 on one of those would have been real helpful.
excellent. Excellent.
Real helpful. Anyway,
Well,
this is bonus
That's
conversation.
right.
Yeah, everybody come back next week for the bonus, and then in just 2 short weeks, 102, and it's not the end. I know it's not the end, but we are getting so close to taking this thing in for a landing. It feels close to me. Maybe it doesn't to you, but it
That's the
feels
good
very
stuff.
close to me.
That's-
Yeah, that is the good stuff. That's the name of this episode. The good
the
stuff.
good stuff.
I thought it would be
Oh,
finding the
good.
banana.
Finding the banana.
Find the banana.
Yeah, find the banana. That's the good stuff. Good gravy.
The true sausage.
Oh my God, there's so many. You know what? Toodaloo, everybody.
Toodaloo, everyone.
If you wanted something different, go to a different podcast.
That's right. All right, everybody. See you next week.
See you next week.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-